What's going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video I'm going to be hitting those Q&A question submissions that people gave me. So I kind of picked out some of the more popular ones that were upvoted quite a bit. So we'll tackle those in this one. If I don't answer your question, I apologize. We only have, honestly, so much time. I'm not going to make you watch a half-hour video of me talking, because that sounds really freaking boring. So in the background, you're going to see lots of gameplay from some really fun, fast-paced clips and plays that I've had in the past couple of days. So hopefully you enjoy that gameplay. Also, some of these plays on the Striker I broke down on Planet Destiny, so you can go over there and check out their latest video that just got posted today on the Titan Striker if you want to see me breaking down some Striker gameplay and teaching about crowd control. So we're going to hit some of these questions real quick. I'll link the 30K Q&A because some of your questions were actually answered in there, so you can check that out as well. Now, the first question that I'll hit is one that I get asked, very frequently, both on YouTube and on Twitch, and that is, what do you do for a job? Is YouTube, Twitch your job? And if it is, what did you do before that? So I actually just made a transition recently, just a couple months ago, of transitioning into doing YouTube and Twitch full time. And before that, I worked for 5 years. I ran a community center for young adults, and we provided counseling services. We handled a lot of different things. I was working for a nonprofit, and I worked as a counselor for young adults and teenagers. So we handled a lot of different things, stuff as routine as just parental issues or general growth questions, and then stuff even sometimes dealing with things like drug and alcohol abuse and those sorts of things. So I've got no shortage of stories of incredible young people that I've been able to spend a lot of time with over the course of the past 5 years. And that was great work. I absolutely loved working for a nonprofit and doing that. But I also have a growing family, so that it was never the long-term plan. It was sort of the job that I took when it was just me and my wife. But we've got a growing family now. We've got a son, we have a house, we have a second kid on the way, and so being a father and a husband, I want to provide for my family. And one of the dangers of working for a nonprofit is that there's not a lot of profit. So we worked there for 5 years. It was great, but ended up making a transition just a couple of months ago, now into doing YouTube and Twitch full time. And it actually has freed me up significantly to spend more time with my wife and my kid, which I absolutely love, because I was working full-time, at my job, and then I was putting in around 20 hours or so or more on the channel and Twitch as well. So I was generally working at least 60 hours a week. So now I've cut that down to 40, and it's wonderful, loving it. So yes, now I do YouTube and Twitch full-time, and so that's what I do during my work hours. And I get to spend a lot of time with my son and with my wife as well. So I'm honestly extremely happy in life where I am right now. It's a wonderful life that I get to live, and I have wonderful people that I get to spend my time with. So pretty stoked about that. Next question: what are some of my top 3 tips for getting better in the Crucible besides just playing more? That's a great question. I do have 3 sort of top tips that I would give people. The 3 things that, if I could boil it down to, these are the things that will help you play better. First and foremost, regularly make it part of your regular routine to play with people who are better than you. Surround yourself with better players. So when you have good gameplay demonstrated for you, you pick up on some great things. If you play in a fire team with people who are better than you, you're going to pick up on some of their habits. They're going to make certain call-outs in certain ways, and you're going to pick up on strategies. You're going to be like, why is he telling me to do that? Oh, I get it. And you're going to see how it's going to play out. So just generally, being around people who are really good at the game. And, maybe you can't get into a fire team with people who are better than you. I struggle to believe that that's true. I think that anybody can get into a fire team with someone who plays just a little bit better than them and maybe pick up on some habits. But even if you, for some reason, can't, maybe you only can play solo, then one of the things I would suggest is watching players who are better than you. So watch their streams, their YouTube videos, those sorts of things. So, surrounding yourself with better players. Yes, I know I whiffed a super there, but I salvaged it, and I came back with a nice kill streak. But just ignore that whiff of panic. Anyways, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, watch your own gameplay. Okay, this is something that I do regularly. I comb through hours of my own gameplay every single week. And I get if you can't make it, you can't commit to that much time to watch your own gameplay. But every now and then, even when you play a bad game, on a lot of these next-gen consoles, it's really easy to record your gameplay. And another easy way of recording gameplay is to actually stream and go into your Twitch sort of settings and make it so that it saves your recent broadcasts. So even if you're streaming for no one and no one shows up, hey, that's fine. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. So you can stream it and then go back and go on Twitch and watch it again. And yeah, it may not be in the highest resolution, but hey, it's better than nothing. Also, capture devices aren't too expensive these days, relatively speaking. Pick up an extra shift, set some money aside, pick up a capture device, and record your gameplay. Then go back and watch it, and you'll pick up on things that you could have done better. I mean, I still do this to this day. I'm watching these plays, and I'm like, I really could have had a 7th column. And one of these plays, the Slayer medal that I got on Asylum, I was looking at that saying, I was like, man, if I'd gone left instead of right there, I could have had a 7th column. But I didn't because I screwed it up. I zigged when I should have zagged. So anyways, watch your own gameplay. Make it happen. The last thing I would say is start adding dimensions to your gameplay one thing at a time. So, for example, say just today. For today, I'm not going to think about all the millions of tips I've heard. I'm going to think about one thing, and that's radar awareness. So today, I'm going to make it a habit every match to look at that radar every 2 to 3 seconds, every 4 to 5 seconds, whatever, and just kind of take it in real quick, so that motion of looking up to the left becomes regular. It becomes habit. It becomes routine. So you've trained yourself to do it. Don't think about any of these other tips. Just think about that one thing. Okay. Now, the next day, now that you've got sort of radar awareness already sort of pre-programmed into your brain, add the next dimension. Okay, vertical space. Now, I'm going to start making a little bit higher approaches around corners or sliding around corners so that I don't get picked off easily by snipers, which is one of the most infuriating things in this game. People who are just hard scoping doorways. So, yeah, so just add things one thing at a time and commit them to memory, and that's going to significantly help you, grow and play better. Next question, what is something that I might add to Destiny if I wanted to make Destiny better? I've got several things. I'll boil it down to just 4. First and foremost, I want custom matchmaking. I want custom matches. I want to play my friends when I want to play them. When we do sweats and scrimmages, man, I hate that my time is limited as it is, and to have to spend half an hour total in a scrimmage of just orbit time trying to match each other, if not more than that. Man, that is stupid. That is just dumb. I want custom matches. Also, that would give me the opportunity to kind of look around and explore the maps. I used to do that all the time in Halo, so that I could sort of learn new approaches and new spaces on the map. Really get to explore them without having to worry about getting shot in the back. You know what I mean? I want to be able to appreciate the maps and get to know them better. And in such a fast-paced environment, sometimes it's really difficult to do that. So I want custom matches for that reason as well. I want a theater mode. Theater would be awesome to be able to sort of stop and zoom out and do play breakdowns that way, like I could do in Halo. And I really wish that was a thing. These people made Halo. They know how to do it. They know how to make this work. And man, that was one of the best parts of the Halo community, was all the things that came out of theater mode. On top of that, Forge mode. Forge was awesome. I loved I played for hours in Forge mode, sort of creating spaces, making community maps. It's just another way that you can get a wide variety of skills represented in your community to actually help grow the game and to grow the community. Some people are really good at map design. Give them the tools to do it. And then if their map is really good, pull it into the game. Make it part of the rotation, like we did in Halo. That was awesome. I mean, I loved that dynamic of Halo. So, last thing that I would introduce is maybe a little bit more. I know this may be shocking coming from a guy who snipes a lot, but just a little bit more flinch on shoulder charge. I'm looking at the gameplay. A little bit more flinch on sniper rifles when they're getting peppered with a primary. One of the things that's most infuriating to me in this game is times where I'm using my primary weapon, and I'll get 3 bullets from a hand cannon into a guy, and without missing a beat, he'll dome me with a sniper rifle. He's been hard scoped the whole time, and I come out of that engagement and I lost, and I'm thinking, that makes no sense. You cannot stabilize a sniper rifle when you take 3 bullets from a a high impact weapon like that. And sometimes that's one of the things that gets me just a little bit salty. And I wish that they had a little bit more flinch on those sniper rifles when you're getting peppered. So I know that may be a little surprising. Now this next question I got a lot of entertainment out of. I got a kick out of this. How do you pick up chicks? Tips on getting girls. That's funny. I enjoy that. Now I'm no doctor of love, but I did manage to get this hot girl to marry me, and I've been with her for 6 years now, which is awesome. So I guess if I had to give you guys some tips, I would say first and foremost, don't try too hard. You don't want to reek of desperation, and oftentimes you do really dumb things when you're trying too hard. And romance is kind of like a fart. If you force it, it's probably poop. If you catch what I'm saying, if you gotta force it, it's gonna be bad. So that would be my first tip. Next, make sure you wash your car. If you're gonna take a girl on a date, wash the car and open the door for her. Don't talk about you. Really, you want to avoid that. You want to ask a lot of questions about her, and not just ask, but listen to the responses and let the responses guide your next question. You really want, ultimately, you want her to talk about her. And, you'll get your you time. Don't worry about it. But first and foremost, you got to show a lot of interest in her. Also, thoughtful beats expensive any day. Put more thought into your gifts. Any Joe Schmo could go out and buy her an iPad. But listen to what makes her tick, what she really responds to, and get her a thoughtful gift that proves that you know her and that you're listening to her, and that shows that you know what she values and what she responds to. So thoughtful is better than expensive. And lastly, if you're going to take a girl out on a date, do it right. Don't half-butt it. You know what I'm saying? Don't take her to Taco Bell. That's stupid. Don't do that. That's something you do when you're married. When you're married, you can take her to Taco Bell. But if you're going to take her out on a date, and I still do this with my wife, put a lot of thought into it. Take her someplace nice that has a nice view even, or, just has, she likes arroz con pollo. Take her to do some research and find out where the best freaking arroz con pollo in your area is found. You know what I'm saying? So do it right. If you're going to do it right. I also get asked the question a lot about hobbies. What are some of my personal hobbies? What do I like to do in my spare time? There's a lot of things I like to do. I really love football, NFL football. Not that crap where people lay on the floor rolling around pretending to be hurt. That's not a sport. I'm poking fun at people. Don't take that too seriously. But I do love American football. I'm a huge Colts fan. I grew up just outside of Indianapolis, so I've been to a lot of games and spent a lot of time downtown. So I'm a huge football fan. I also really enjoy motorcycling. So I've owned a lot of motorcycles. One of the best summers of my life. Actually, two of the best summers. We did this 2 summers back to back, actually. My wife and I did motorcycle tours through the Rocky Mountains. We spent a couple of days just riding through the Rockies. We stayed in like Aspen and Breckenridge. It was beautiful. But just kind of carving through those mountains on a bike is so much fun. The first time I did it on a Harley Davidson Softail Heritage, and loved it. Such a comfy bike. The year after that, I picked up a sport touring bike, something a little more comfortable for the wife. It's a Kawasaki Concourse, has a 1000cc engine in it. It's the Ninja 1000. It's just so much fun, and I had a blast doing it. So those are some of my hobbies. Another question I get asked a lot is, why don't you swear in your videos or on Twitch, or why don't we ever hear you curse? I'm not gonna claim that I never curse, that I've never sworn. I'm not gonna say that that's true, but I'm very cautious about the way that I present myself in public. You have to understand, like I said, I worked for a nonprofit for 5 years, and I worked with young adults, and I really wanted to be 100% above reproach in all the things that I said and did. And I was still doing that job for most of the time that I've been active on YouTube and on Twitch. And some of my students and the kids that I counseled would even come and check out my content. So I really just try to be cautious about that. And with a lot of these kids, a lot of these young adults and teenagers, they hear all kinds of language like that at home directed at them. And I try to be sensitive to that, and I don't want to just be a voice that sounds like, some of the more negative voices in their life. So I'm really cautious about that. I don't think necessarily that swearing is is bad and it's evil. That's not why I avoid it, and I don't hold anyone else to that standard. It's just it's a personal standard that I hold myself to, and that's not going to change. And I'll probably be like that till the day that I die. It's just a personal conviction of mine. I also get asked a whole lot about tips on growing your own content, be it YouTube or Twitch. Specifically here, the poster of the question asks about Twitch. As a new streamer, how do I grow? You just have to understand, first and foremost, that this is a loser's market. It's for every one person that succeeds and makes a living off of YouTube or has any kind of remote success on Twitch as a streamer, for every one success story, there are thousands of stories of people who invest way more time, money, and energy than they ever get returned on their investment. So you have to understand going into it, this is a loser's market, and that's not going to change. And it's going to take a lot more from you than it's ever going to give back, probably. And that's just the nature of the game, unfortunately. And to really grow, it requires a lot of consistency. But if I could just give you one pointer, I would say because of the nature of this industry, even if you're not looking to do it as a job, but you just want to do it for fun and actually have a community underneath you supporting you, I would just remind you that honestly, people see through content that is sort of tailored to try and hit an audience. Don't try and hit an audience. Don't try and do and replicate what other streamers are doing that is successful for them. What you have to do is what plays to your strengths. Look at what you're good at, what you can do and what you can't do. Play the game according to the way that you enjoy playing it. Say the things that represent you. Play the way that represents you. When you have honest content, people respond to that. Not only that, but the people that do stick around for your content are going to be the kinds of people that you want talking about you and supporting you and being with you because they're similar, they're like-minded. And so you don't want to have to put up a front all the time. And you'll actually start to show cracks if you do that, and then it's gonna be bad, and the crap's gonna hit the fan. So just stay true to who you are and the way that you play and the way that you communicate. That's the best way to do it. And even if your numbers don't hit the same numbers as guys who are really successful doing it, hey, that's no big deal, because I'd rather have 1,000 people who really get me and love my content and appreciate me for the way that I am than 10,000 people that I have to try and perform for all the time. You know what I mean? So just stay true to who you are. That's my number one best advice for any content creator. Authenticity is always best. So be authentic and you'll see growth. Okay, well, I hope that this was enjoyable for you. I'm going to cut it off there. I've got lots of other questions that were submitted, but we're at 18 minutes, and I don't want to take up all of your time. So thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for showing interest and for submitting the questions. And guys, I'll catch you in the Crucible.